We undertook a scoping review, and this was to look at the changing landscape of psycho-oncology clinical trials. One of the drivers to doing this piece of work was the 2023 cancer plan, where one of the goals is to increase the number of people that are taking part in clinical trials, and we thought it would be a good benchmark to see where we'd been and where we'd got to and how things were changing in the psycho-oncology world. So we aim to explore the landscape of psycho-oncology clinical trials over the last 20 years in Australia. We did that by searching the Australian and New Zealand Clinical Trials Registry and clinicaltrials.gov for published protocols between 2009 and 2024. We found 152 eligible protocols after doing the search, and the results of our search found that over time we've seen a number of registered protocols increasing. The study recruitment status, it still shows just under half of these studies are being reported as completed, although one of the things around the registry is that you don't have to, it's not mandatory to fill in the information, so we don't know how accurate that actually is. The settings have changed over time, not unexpectedly, but we've seen a lot more online studies now. We have seen a mixture of males and females taking part in the studies. The ages are still primarily those over 18. Our populations taking part in studies has become a lot more diverse, and we have also mixed studies, but we include survivors, so those with advanced cancer now, carers, patients and healthcare professionals in our studies. The number of completed studies shows here that the target samples are still quite small. So the mean sample size of our studies, or the studies that we found, is about 100, indicating that a lot of these are pilot feasibility studies. And we've found that only about 40% of them are actually meeting the target, with 9% of those coming within 10% of their target sample. Intervention types have been interesting, and we've seen an increase in the number of exercise studies being taking place now, which may be unexpected, maybe not. And we obviously see psychoeducation and psychological interventions being the two main interventions still. The funding of the study was something we were very interested in, and we have seen that the number of studies being funded through charities has gradually risen over the years, and the same with government has kind of dropped slightly, and we're seeing a lot more institutionally funded studies. So overall, our conclusion was that the number of psycho-oncology trials have increased, with a greater number of online interventions and a greater diversity of intervention types and the populations that are being included.